Successful businesses are often about being in the right place at the right time, while others are about spotting an opportunity and filling the gap. It was the latter that triggered Richard Francis to set up Spotlight Reporting in Lower Hutt in 2010.
So basically we're here in the cloud providing business intelligence tools, reporting, forecasting, visual dashboards, we do consolidation, we do all the things in a way that the core accounting software like Xero, QuickBooks, MYOB don't do.
It's what Richard calls a data plumbing business that provides information on a business in a way that facilitates better decision making. He describes himself as a bit of an accidental accountant who started off running the advisory division of a large accounting firm.
I was the kid, selling my sister's clothes on the street, and when I was in the UK, I set up an internet company over there. So I kind of ended up in this profession and decided that I wanted to do the most exciting parts of it and really be a change maker.
Richard was working as an advisor to local businesses when Rod Drury founded Xero, and he saw a gap.
They were making accounting sexy, which is quite a hard ask. But what was even more important, they were opening up via their API all of this wonderful data, which meant suddenly third-party apps like Spotlight could grab that data and do new things with it.
Richard and his wife Julie, the company's chief financial officer, had just sold their previous company to Xero. And while Spotlight originally started as an add-on partner to Xero, it's grown into an international success in its own right.
We work with the biggest accounting firms in the world, so you think of all the household names, the Deloittes, BDOs, PwCs, we work with all of those guys in multiple territories. But also we work with a lot of accountants and advisors you've never heard of, the progressive guys who work with Xero and Intuit, and they're providing advice to some of the world's best entrepreneurs.
The target market for Spotlight's products ranges from accountants and chief financial officers to business owners.
They want great data, they want it live, they want multiple data sources, they want it visual as well, so that they can have great conversations with their customers. And what's great now in this day and age is there's so much data out there to use, but bringing it together and making it understandable is the key.
Spotlight has 4 core products aimed at reporting, forecasting, not-for-profits and franchising companies.
So we have our software used in over 100 countries. I'm always hopping on planes. We've got teams in the United States, Britain, big team in Australia, big team here in Wellington and Auckland as well, and looking at what we can do in the likes of Singapore. South Africa's strong as well.
All up, Spotlight has about 50 staff in 20 different locations, including working from home.
It's absolutely important that you have great systems, the communication has to be high. We do fly people in here. We've been really good for the hospitality industry in Petone, where we're based, bringing people in from San Francisco and in the UK, and they get to experience earthquakes and in our lovely inclement weather, of course.
Spotlight got an initial $3 million injection from external investors in 2014. Then 2 years later raised a further $5 million in a Series A funding round.
Our Series A, we're actually mainly Australasian funded, so a lot of our shareholders have been involved either as investors in Xero. We've got the MYOB founder as a shareholder, and Global from Day One Fund was the kind of anchor VC as part of our Series A.
Spotlight is still in the early stages of its expansion into Canada and the US, which Richard says is rather less progressive than some other markets like the UK.
So the accounting industry in the US is very kind of baby boomer male, conservative, playing golf in Florida.
But whatever the country, broaching new markets overseas is not for the faint-hearted, and Mr. Francis says the old land and expand has become a bit of a cliche.
You have to really be quite tactical. So we make sure we partner with the right people, we get the right advocates on board. You go to the conferences, you meet these people. Again, if you can partner with an Intuit or a Xero, that's huge.
And having the right partners and advocates on board in a new market is crucial, given there are now 68 other forecasting and reporting apps in the market.
So there's a lot of competitors, everyone's wanting to get in, but we've got the best relationships, we've done more miles than anyone else. We're investing more in people than anyone else. And that's the other thing that's really critical. We've got a team that's second to none in terms of not only the SaaS industry DNA, but the accounting industry DNA, which is so important.
To crack the big markets, Spotlight believes in hiring local, but still influencing from New Zealand.
I think it's important to take a bit of that Kiwi spirit and get it done, no bullshit mentality, but you do have to have a really good mix of locals as well.
Mr. Francis says the company's now heading to $10 million in recurring revenue and wants to keep growing fast.
We want to be one of those rare beasts too in SaaS that can not only continue to grow at a great clip, but hey, we may even earn a profit at some stage soon. So let's break the mould.
So does the company, which made the 2017 Deloitte Fast 50 list with 300% growth, but dipped out in 2018, need more investment to break the mould?
Investment for my board is the $20 million question. Do we continue on our fast growth trajectory now and become profitable and cash flow positive, which we can do, or do we take a great big check from offshore and go crazy? So it's a debate we're having now. We're growing really well. We've had the Series A and the seed rounds, so we've really got lots of options, which is kind of cool.